Hello everyone, Danasa here with Action VFX. In this tutorial, we will learn how to create this foggy glass condensation effects in Adobe After Effects. This is a very simple effects to achieve using our Action VFX surface condensation collections, which you can check out in the description below. Before we begin, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you will be notified for our future tutorials. Anyway, let's get started. So here is the backplate that I have. We will be adding the condensation on this mirror and then have it wiped out by the hand. So at the bottom of our composition here, we have our backplate. And then on the top, we have this pre-comp layer of our talent and the frame of the mirror being masked. If we go inside this mask pre-comp, we can see that we have this black and white matte layer of our talent and the mirror. And then below it is the plate Luma matting to this Rotomatte. If you want to follow along with this plate and the talent matte layer, you can download these project files on the description below. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to build up our condensation texture. So let's bring this heavy condensation asset and put it in the middle. And then let's get rid of the element's black background by turning it to screen. And then we're going to go to toggle switch and we are going to turn this layer into 3D. That way we can align the perspective of our layer with the mirror. And then we want to color match our element here with the scene. So let's add tint, and on the white color, let's change it to a bright green color that is similar to the scene. And then we're going to add curve and let's darken it so we can see more of our reflection. So this is good, but we want to populate the mirror with more condensation. So I'm just going to duplicate our layer and make some changes to the duplicate, like maybe create a mask and then move it to a different place. So basically here, I'm just going to keep playing around until we get the look of the condensation that we want. Now let's pre-compose our elements. And here we see that the transparent background that we have got rid of previously is not being brought back outside of the pre-comp. So we are going to fix that. We are going to remove the black background again. But instead of using screen, this time we are going to remove the black background with an FX preset. First, let's add solid composite. This effect is basically just compositing a flat color on the background of our layer. So let's change it to black. This helps evening out the color of our background. Now that the background is a flat black color, let's remove it. So using a blending mode like screen, like I did previously, is the super quick and easy way to remove a black background. But that method didn't actually create an alpha channel on the layers. So on the effects panel, let's type unmold and bring this preset. So what's happening here is this preset allows us to generate a dedicated alpha channel for this layer based on the brightness of the color. So the black color in the layer is now transparent and the brighter color stays. Awesome, now let's add Gaussian blur to make it less sharp. Great! Next, we are going to create the wiping effects, and this is going to be very simple. We are just going to use a mask. So let's create a solid and let's name it wipe matte layer. And we are going to put it below the mask but still on top of the condensation pre-comp. And then we are going to grab a pen tool and we are first going to create a shape of the hand as it touches the mirror. And then we are going to add keyframe on the path, and then we want to animate our mask as the hand moves across to make it look like it leaves behind a trail. Great, now let's turn the mask to subtract, and this is what we have. We have our hand looking like it's wiping out all the white solid. But here at the beginning, we want to get rid of the mask, so let's move one frame forward and throw away our mask, and there we go. So we will be using this solid layer as an alpha matte to our condensation pre-comp. But before we apply that, I want to add something else. I want first to add a little bit of irregularity to the wiping. I want to create some small shapes inside the mask to make it look like there are still some moisture or condensation that is being left behind. And then I want to make the condensation fades back in after it got wiped out by the hand. So let's create a patch of mask on the side and then want to feather it really big. And then we want to add keyframe to the expansion, and as the hand moves, let's increase the expansion to make it look like the condensation is catching up as it is being erased. And then let's reduce the opacity of the mask a little bit. Great. Now let's make sure this matte solid is on top of our condensation pre-comp, and then let's change the track matte of the condensation pre-comp to alpha matte. And this is what we have. Great. So next what I want to do is I want to add another layer of condensation. This condensation is like the more thicker one that is not being easily wiped out by the hand. So I want to bring this other glass condensation elements, and then I want to search for a frame where we see the texture very visible, and then let's freeze frame it. And then of course, just like before, we're going to turn it to screen, turn it to 3D, and then let's add some tint and color match it to the scene. And then I want to duplicate it and move it around again to populate the scene with more of this thick condensation. And then we want to pre-compose them, and then add solid composite, turn it to black, and then add the unmold preset, and then let's add some Gaussian blur. Great. Next, we are going to add the foggy atmosphere to the reflection in the mirror. And to do that, it's also very simple. We are going to just use an adjustment layer. Let's put it below all of our elements, but just above the plate. And then we are going to add a Gaussian blur to the adjustment layer and blur it out quite high. Okay, so this is looking good, but I want the blurry fogginess to be only blurry on the parts that have the condensations. So to do that, we are going to pre-compose all of our elements, except of the adjustment layers, of course. And then we want to duplicate it, and then on the bottom one, we are going to use this as a matte to drive the visibility of the blurriness. So on the adjustment layer, let's alpha matte it to the condensation matte layer, and now we're not seeing anything because our matte layer here is too faint, so it's not strong enough to justify a visibility on our adjustment layer. So we are going to fix that. We are going to add curve to this matte pre-comp, and then let's go to the alpha channel and let's push the highlights of the alpha really high. And there we go. So our alpha channel on this condensation matte pre-comp is becoming more solid, and that allows our adjustment layer to be more visible. And that was pretty much the main visual effects. The rest are just icing on the cake to enhance the environment, like using our foreground smoke and fog collection to add an atmosphere on top of everything. And then on top of that is an adjustment layer with a yellow hue color, which then we can mask out on the top of the frame and feather out to simulate a yellow light shining from the ceiling. And that was the tutorial. Once again, to purchase these condensation elements and many other high quality VFX stock footage, you can just check in the description below or just visit our website at actionvfx.com. At Action VFX, we provide high quality VFX assets for your VFX needs. We have fire, explosions, energy, and many others. You can also sign up for our Action VFX subscription starting at the low cost of $14.99 a month. This is the most affordable way to access our library, and you can cancel anytime, no contract. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comment section below what kind of tutorials that you'd like to see next. And see you next time. Bye bye.